Hello, everybody. Hi, how are you? Oh, Jesus. Oh, sorry. I got Avi texting me. I got so much to cover today. We have so much to cover today, guys. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, Vietnam. Good morning. Let me set a goal. Um, Share how you'll celebrate. I'll scream. Start goal. Alrighty. Now condensation. I did have fun in paintball. I fucking bodied. I think I went 5-3, which is pretty damn good for me. Sorry, I'm just setting shit up. Hi, Mr. Bean. Guys, I'm gonna finish setting up my army contract. Can I get a good luck, soldier? Yeah. Good luck, soldier. Good luck, soldier. Good luck invading Iran. Tell the Ayatollah I say, what's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? Oh, fucking yeah. Oh, fucking yeah. Ugh. Good morning, Iran. Listen, just do me a favor, Eye of Bedlam. Can you make me a pinky promise? Hold out your pinky. You got your pinky out? Can you make me a promise? Can you make me a promise? Make me a promise, Eye of Bedlam? All right, when you come back, you better still be goofy. All right? All right? Don't lose that little spark of yours. All right? Don't let the military take away your spark. You can sort of do stuff over, make a canvas stuff live and send it to me. Good morning, good morning, good morning. All right, we got a lot to talk about. Elon Musk cucked Stephen Miller. Yeah. Fucking, where is it? Won't be active in the chat since I'm at work, but keep up the good work, Chris. Keep protecting my constitussy. I will keep your constitussy safe. Like, literally, yeah, no, Elon Musk actually fucked Stephen Miller's wife. And now Stephen Miller is lashing out on the entire country because he's a big fucking baby. And he's No. He actually, like, Stephen Miller's wife was actually fucked by Elon Musk. And Elon Musk just left Washington, right? Elon Musk just left Washington, right? He took Stephen Miller's wife with him. I'm not kidding. He took her with him. He took her. He didn't just fuck her. He stole her. Like, he took her. I love this article. Apartheid South Africa's preeminent ketamine enthusiast has supposedly ended his time in government. Sure, almost all chief lieutenants still stay in place. Who is reportedly a consistent presence at General Service Admission. Musk claims his work will continue out in government, but he said he's going back to his companies now. I'm sure the Wall Street Journal will report that Tesla is looking for a new CEO. That had nothing to do with this. Let's see. Where's the shit about Miller's wife? Yeah, here it is. His relationship with Katie Miller, chief White House ghoul Stephen Miller's wife, is notable. Back in February, Wired published a report with this quote from a longtime Republican operative who knows the couple personally. Quote, "If you can find out anything about Stephen Miller's social life, I don't want to know the answer." The report was predominantly focused on how Musk had found allies in the Millers in his bid to destroy the government. And Katie functioned as his comms Sherpa. The reported closeness of Musk to that couple is, and that quote potentially implying gross stuff led to a lot of people speculating gross stuff. CNN now reports that Katie Miller, who is a special government employee, is leaving to go work with Elon Musk. Her Twitter banner seemingly confirms this, as she made it a photo of a SpaceX rocket taken before it presumably exploded. This reporting has reignited the gross stuff. I really need to emphasize this is all speculation. Nope, not speculation. Not speculation. Elon Musk cucked Stephen Miller. No speculation there. I don't care. I don't care. Don't give a fuck. His Cub Sherpa. Yep. Anyway, we have real news to talk about. All right. There's a couple of things. The Ukrainians just launched a counteroffensive on the Russians, okay? Ukraine's massive drone attack deep inside of Russia lays bare Putin's vulnerability. Though the knock-on effects are unclear, some military commentators have called the strike Russia's Pearl Harbor. Hopes for direct peace talks, which resume Monday, remain low. Hopefully the Ukrainians fucking bodied a whole bunch of Russians. And on top of that, there was another terrorist attack in Colorado, following the one in Washington, where the guy screamed "Free Palestine" and then stabbed, or what did he do? Shot those two Israeli embassy members. And now there was like a terrorist attack at a Boulder, Colorado event for Israeli hostages, something like that. And if I'm being real, this'll get me canceled. I don't care. This really, it seems like false flag operation put together by Mossad. Call me crazy. I'm the only one who's brave enough to say this. These feel like false flag operations put together by Mossad. That's what they feel like. Now, is that to say that those people didn't die? No, those people did die. Is that to say that the killers weren't Terrorists? No, they're probably terrorists. But this feels perfectly timed. It's right out of their playbook. Yeah, Israel does this shit constantly. It was a stunning, audacious attack. Those widespread effects are only just becoming clear. Ukraine managed to smuggle 117 aerial drones on the backs of trucks that deposited them at the perimeter of 4 Russian air bases, one of them deep inside of Siberia, some 2,500 miles from Ukraine's borders. How the fuck did Russia allow a bunch of trucks to get to Siberia? While there are differing accounts on the extent of the ensuing damage on Sunday's, quote, spiderweb operation, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky said 40 Russian aircraft, 34% of Russia's strategic cruise missile carriers were hit. Ukraine's security service, the SBU, put the estimated cost of the Kremlin at $7 billion. How often do we, the public, find out about false flag operations? Never, bro. The most famous false flag operation in history is the burning of the Reichstag, and we still have no conclusive evidence that that was a false flag operation. Ugh. Same thing with the Gulf of Tonkin, one of the Kickstarters that got America dragged into the Vietnam War. That was a false flag operation. Pearl Harbor, in a sense, was a false flag operation to the degree that we allowed Pearl Harbor to happen. Gulf of Tonkin, what a joke. You expand on Pearl Harbor? Yeah, we provoked Pearl Harbor. Japan used like 85% of their oil was given to them by the Americans. And we decided to embargo them. We cut the flow of oil during their invasion of China. And then in response, they told us, hey, we're going to go to war with you. We're going to attack you. FDR decided not to warn Pearl Harbor, which was where our entire fucking Navy was in the Pacific, exactly where the Japanese would have attacked. And it ended up being very convenient for him. Very convenient, yeah. Sorry, dealing with my brother. He's freak tweaking because I claimed that I think that this is a false flag, and now he's freaking out, going, "You're like Nick Fuentes." What? 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 And frankly, there he is. There's Malenti. He showed up. What do you think is a false flag Well, we were talking about false flags. The Reichstag, I believe, was a false flag operation. I think Pearl Harbor and 9/11 can be construed as false flag operations in the sense where we allowed those things to happen so that we could end up with the outcome. We allowed Pearl Harbor to happen so we could go to war with Japan, which in turn would put us to war with Germany. We allowed 9/11 to happen so that we could invade Iraq finally, which we wanted to do since the 1990s. And I would not be surprised if Mossad is putting together false flag operations in the United States in order to sway the people to being pro-Israeli. Because as we've seen, the overwhelming majority of the public are starting to abandon pro-Israeli policies. But, like when you hit your follower goal on TikTok? Huh? Oh, can we get a MAGA Valenti personality take on the subject? I've done that before. I hit 3 million and then pretended to be MAGA, and then I got permabanned. You make many good points. There's also the fact that somehow an entire fleet of Japanese planes managed to get on the jump to one of the largest naval bases in the U.S. Well, don't forget also that our 3 largest aircraft carriers in Pearl Harbor happened to be on a training mission when the attack happened. They weren't there. See, the Japanese thought they were going to destroy the entire U.S. Navy. They failed miserably because we knew it was coming. Can you pull up examples of beyond reasonable doubt Mossad false flag operations? Yeah, they've done it fucking dozens of times. Examples of Mossad false flag operations. The problem with false flag operations is you don't know that they're a false flag until decades after, and even so, some of them you will never find out are a false flag operation. Here's one. This is a failed false flag. The Lavon affair was a failed Israeli covert operation, codenamed Operation Susanna, conducted in Egypt in the summer of 1954 as part of a false flag operation. A group of Egyptian Jews were recruited by the Israeli military intelligence to plant bombs inside of Egyptian, American, and British-owned civilian targets. Cinemas, libraries, and American educational centers. The bombs were timed to detonate several hours after closing time. The attacks were to be blamed on the Muslim Brotherhood, Egyptian communists, quote, unspecified malcontents, or, quote, local nationalists, with the aim of creating a climate of sufficient violence and instability to induce the British government to retain its occupying forces in Egypt's Suez Canal zone. The operation caused no casualties among the population, but resulted in the deaths of 4 operatives. The overseer of the operation allegedly informed the Egyptians, after which 11 suspected operatives were arrested. 2 died by suicide after being captured, 2 were executed by Egyptian authorities, 2 of them were acquitted at trial, and the remaining 5 received prison terms ranging from 7 years to life in prison. The operation ultimately became known as the Lavon Affair after the Israeli defense minister, Pinhas Lavon, was forced to resign as a consequence of the incident. Before Lavon's resignation, the incident had been euphemistically referred to in Israel as the unfortunate affair or the bad business. Israel publicly denied any involvement in the incident until 2005, when the surviving agents were awarded certificates of appreciation by Israeli President Moshe Katsav. War on drugs, false flag operation. Yep. Do you think this could also be grounds for helping Trump sign the Insurrection Act because of increased acts of violence? Absolutely. I mean, don't forget that the guy who attacked in Boulder, Colorado is apparently, allegedly, an undocumented immigrant. You know, it's perfect ammo for the Trump regime. It's perfect ammo for the Israeli government to say not only do we have undocumented immigrants committing terrorist attacks, but these undocumented immigrants are attacking Jews, which is going to strengthen the United States' relationship with Israel. This is not an insane take to have. This is not an insane take to have whatsoever. And anybody who thinks that this is an insane take to have is simply fucking naive. Your sound is low? I'll crank it up. Luigi! Luigi, stop it. Also, think about the Gretchen Whitmer wannabe assassins who were egged on. Waluigi! Who were egged on by the FBI, as well as how FBI egged on Muslims in America for planned bombings. The FBI does have a history of stoking. Yeah, the FBI, the CIA, Mossad, they all do. Did you guys see, what is it? Lindsey Graham, and then, Greta Thunberg tweet. So, Lindsey Graham. All right, get this. Hold on. Israel. Did you say Trump? Did you see Tim Walz say to bully the shit out of Trump? No, but that's great. Oh, fuck. Yo, Mount Etna, the giant volcano in Italy, is erupting right now. Right now. Oh, shit. Italy's Mount Etna erupts. Oh, fuck. Dude, Italy's cooked. There goes Italy. The Strombolian activity. Get the fuck out of here, Strombolian. Let me get a Stromboli. Get the fuck out of here, Strombolian activity. This is good. I hope that volcano kills every single Italian. Okay? Clip it and ship it. I want that volcano to eviscerate the entire nation of Italy. All of them. How far is the volcano from civilians? 20 feet. I have a ton of Italian friends. Dude, I'm Italian. It's a joke. It's a joke. Genuine question, Chris, why? Guys, it's a fucking joke. Jesus Christ. All right, so get this. Israel blows up food flotilla. All right, so get this. So Greta Thunberg, right? Climate activist. Y'all know Greta. How dare you? Greta and a whole bunch of her friends were hopping on this flotilla, a ship that was supposed to sail to Gaza in order to break Israel's blockade and provide food, right? So she's supposed to do that. And then Lindsey Graham tweets out, "Hope Greta and her friends can swim." Bring it up. Hope Greta and her friends can swim, right, while sharing this link. The ship was blown up. Luckily, Greta decided not to get on that ship, especially after seeing this tweet. And the fucking ship was blown up. So not only is Senator Lindsey Graham just sending an insane threat of violence to this woman, but this is proof. This is concrete evidence that the Republican Party works hand in hand with the Israelis at all times. The fact that he knew to... This is insane. This is actually insane, and this will not be talked about the way that it should. Hope Greta and her friends can swim, and then the ship is blown up. No, they got on a different ship. They decided to get on a different ship. They were carrying weapons, brother. No, they weren't. That's a complete lie. This was a food flotilla. That's a unreasonable lie. First of all, wait. Do you think that that ship was going to go and meet with Hamas? Is that what you think? Yeah, no, that's probably Koofs considering how terrible the grammar is. Look, FFC told CNN that climate activist Greta Thunberg and retired U.S. Army Colonel Mary Ann Wright were among those who were expected to board the vessel in Malta, but were not on board at the time of the fire. You really think it was just food, buddy? Yeah, I do. I do. Real quick, do you think that Hamas needs weapons to be brought in from activists? Don't you know that Iran arms Hamas? Don't you know that Qatar arms Hamas? Don't you know that a lot of the Arab world arms Hamas? You think they need a small ship full of weapons to show up to Gaza in order to arm Hamas? Are you serious, or are you that stupid? Well, actually, no, that's the same thing. Are you seriously that stupid? My bad. Good morning, Adam. 4 minutes left in the goal. Can we money launder some more, guys? Yeah, guys, a little bit more money laundering. We got 3 minutes left on it. How far are we from World War III? You're in World War III. You're just in the early stages of it. Speaking to Reuters from Malta, Thunberg said she was part of the group that was supposed to board the boat and, quote, continue the voyage towards Gaza, which is one of many attempts to open up a humanitarian corridor, and do our part to keep trying to break Israel's illegal siege on Gaza, adding that, quote, for 2 months now, not a single bottle of water has entered Gaza, and it's a systematic starvation of 2 million people. Fear-mongering as usual? Yeah, by reading an article. The activist said that the ship is currently at anchor, as moving it risks water flooding in. Quote, if it were to move, too much water would come in and it would sink, she said. Quote, what is certain is that we human rights activists will continue to do everything in our power to do our part. We were ready to get on the boat. Anyone could have been on the boat, adding that there are currently Turkish and Azerbaijan citizens on the ship. We didn't even think that this would happen. It's the craziest thing in the world. The ship was in an anchor there, waiting for us to come. Who would send drones to bomb a ship that is anchoring off Malta, Wright said, adding, quote, this should be a warning to all European countries. And it is. Thank you for the $2 donation, Chronicle. I appreciate that. Trump won't let World War III start, dude. He already did. And also, Trump is such a petulant child and a fascist, stupid, fat idiot that the Ukrainians didn't even tell the United States that they were launching a counteroffensive on Russia. Yesterday, the Ukrainians launched a counteroffensive deep inside of Russia, and the United States was not told. We were not informed until it was over because we cannot be trusted. So this is just yet another example of how Donald Trump is completely incapable of doing anything right. Trump gave him the green light, brother? No, he didn't. That's completely false. Trump had no idea that this attack was going to happen whatsoever. That's not true. Trump would have warned Putin. Indeed, he would have. Indeed, he would have. We got a $5 donation from Michaela Dawn. Frankly. Thank you very much. I appreciate the frankly. We should also cover Trump's insane Truth Social post. So I'm going to use Fox News for this because I want the MAGA chuds in the chat to see that even their own Bible,
the Trump
Fox
White House
News,
currently facing a backlog of thousands of...
Even Fox News is turning on them. So this is from Fox News. Trump shares post saying Biden was executed and replaced with clones. Huh. President Donald Trump shared a post on social media this weekend claiming that President Joe Biden died in 2020 and was replaced with clones. Oh, look, they're already going, that's just some jokes, man. No, he's got early onset dementia and his brain is starting to go, and he actually believes in this shit. It's the same reason why Tulsi Gabbard and the White House press secretary are putting together a Fox News-style daily briefing for Trump, because he doesn't know how to read, and he refuses to read his daily briefing. So they're making it nice and easy for old grandpa by making it look like Fox News for him. Isn't that great? So Trump posted, there is no Joe Biden, executed in 2020. Biden clones, doubles, and robotic engineered, soulless, mindless entities are what you see. Democrats don't know the difference. Wow. So he's insane. So he's an insane person. He's officially an insane person. Donald Trump is officially mentally ill. He's a mentally ill, insane person. Hi, Chris. Thanks for making every week of nightmares slightly more tolerable. Thank you. I appreciate that. Don't you get us guys joke about people? Brother, are you having a stroke? Are you having a stroke right now? Don't you get us guys joke about people? What? What? What the fuck does that mean? We men joke about people, dude. It's a guy thing. Is that actually your argument right now? Are you serious? Is that the argument you're gonna fight with? That's the one you want to plant your heels on? Your heels on? I'm serious. I'm asking you. Is that actually the excuse you're gonna use? For real? Is this the hill? Some jokes about Sleepy Joe is funny. Just on the. So you're serious? You think that this is just jokes? That's actually the hill you're gonna die on? Is like he's just joking? Yeah, I know. I don't understand why MAGA supporters act like they're friends with Trump. It's fucking ridiculous. But are you serious though? Trump doesn't actually believe in that, dude. Bless your heart, brother. Bless your heart, cute little boy. One day, you'll grow. All right, Trump Truth Social. Trump Truth Social. North believes he's one of Trump's boys. No, he actually does. He actually does. It's fucking hilarious. This is what he posted. There is no Joe Biden, executed in 2020. Biden clones double and robotic engineered soulless mindless entities are what you see. Democrats don't know the difference. Look at all of these fucking hashtags. Dude, I met him and we joked about Joe Biden during the 2024 campaign trail. Oh my God, you actually think you're friends with Trump. You actually think you're friends. You think, hold on, real question, real quick. 20 North, do you think Donald Trump cares about you? Do you think Donald Trump cares about you? I don't know, man. He was nice to me. I'm going to ask you one more time. Just really try and think for a second and just answer. Try to be a brave boy. Do you think Donald Trump cares about you? Do you think that? No, he wasn't joking. No, this guy's actually mentally ill. He's not joking. Do you think Donald Trump cares about you? No, he's a president. He's got better things to do. Okay, good. Thank fuck you're not that stupid. Thank fuck. I want to see the rest of this coverage on the Ukraine attack. So this Operation Spiderweb took over a year and a half to execute and was personally supervised by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. His evening address, Zelensky said that 117 drones had been used in the operation. He claimed the operation had been headquartered out of an office next to the local FSB headquarters. The FSB is the Russian Intelligence and Security Service. Security Service of Ukraine smuggled drones inside the roofs of mobile wooden cabins carried by trucks deep into Russian territory. The drones hit airfields, including the Belaya Air Base in Russia's Irkutsk region, more than 2,500 miles from Ukraine. It is the first time that a Ukrainian drone has been seen in the region, local governor Igor Kobzev told AP, stressing it did not present a threat to civilians. The operation destroyed 34% of Russia's fleet of air missile carriers, with damages estimated at $7 billion. This claim could not be independently verified. So one thing I want to point out is the difference between the Ukrainian and Russian attacks, right? Russia bombs indiscriminately. Russia doesn't give a fuck if they murder civilians. In fact, I'm quite certain they want to kill Ukrainian civilians. Ukraine is capable of launching an attack in Russia that not only doesn't kill a single civilian, but I'm not even sure if they killed any military members. What they did do is actually cripple the might of the Russian Air Force, right? That's huge. That goes to show the difference between somebody who's fighting with respect to the rules of combat versus somebody who's just a fucking maniac, Vladimir Putin. This might give Putin the push he wants to be a lot more aggressive. Indeed, it would. Yes, they also destroyed part of the nuclear triad, which has deleted Russian nuclear deterrence. Russia is now open and ready for a nuke. While White House spokespeople declined to comment on the attack, administration sources told CBS News on Sunday that the White House was not aware it was coming. So to the, what was the name of that MAGA chud? 20 North. I think he was the one who said, no, America knew about it. No, they didn't. Literal White House sources said that the White House was not aware it was coming. And this is important because this is the first time Ukraine has ever attacked Russia and not informed the United States of America. This is a massive shift in our relationship with Ukraine. It's a massive shift in the global dynamic of America being the top superpower. We aren't the top superpower. With Trump in the White House, we are one of the weakest nations on planet Earth. We're completely untrustworthy. We're unreliable. We're unpredictable. So if you're in, a fight for your life, like against the Russians, and, Trump posted on Truth Social or tweeted out, he said, nobody has helped Russia more than me. That's what he said. He said, like, if it weren't for me, Russia would be much worse. So Trump admits that he is actively helping the Russians. So if you're Volodymyr Zelensky, no fucking way you're going to be telling Trump that. That's like telling Putin. That's literally just like telling Putin. The drone attack came as Kyiv announced a Russian military strike killed at least 12 soldiers at an army training site. Ukraine's Air Force said 472 Russian drones were launched, the biggest number since the full-scale invasion 3 years ago. Russian forces also launched 7 missiles along the barrage of drones, said Yuri Ignat, head of communications for the Ukrainian Air Force. The training unit is located to the rear of the 620-mile active front line, where Russian reconnaissance and strike drones are able to strike. Meanwhile, explosions caused 2 bridges to collapse, derailed 2 trains in western Russia overnight. One of the incidents, 7 people were killed and dozens were injured. Russia's news agency said the Russian delegation was headed to Istanbul on Sunday for the talks. Ukrainian officials had previously called on the Kremlin to provide a promised memorandum setting out its position on ending the war before a meeting took place. Moscow had said it would share its memorandum during the talks. I want that Trump post about, oh, this one is crazy too. Dude, did you guys see this? All right. Trump is so in such a state of mental decline that he sees AI videos of himself and thinks they're real. Like, he has these memories that they didn't happen. These are AI generated moments. They're not real. And he's so mentally decrepit that he actually thinks they happened. And he posted one on Truth Social. He said, "You're not supposed to see this video. CBS deleted this entire episode from their official website. You will not find these segments on YouTube either. This entire thing is fake. It didn't happen. Watch."
And
I want to thank you not only for being here, I want to thank you for running for president. Is here.
Yeah.
Everybody loves him. There's no other way to say it. Ladies and gentlemen, Donald Trump.
Who got the money?
Luigi.
Who got the money?
Haven't they? Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Speaking of doing a fantastic job, you are setting the world on fire right now.
Well,
Can you do a flirtatious scream? Yeah. That's all you're gonna get.
we're having
Okay.
a lot of fun, and I think we're hitting some pretty good issues, Stephen. And
I want to
it's
thank you
resonating.
not only for being here, I want to thank you for running for president. Because I'm not going to say this stuff writes itself, but
Hampshire and Iowa, no matter where we go, it seems that the response, it just gets better and better. And the polls have been phenomenal.
you see Zogby?
Zogby was great.
33%. That came out today, right? Zogby,
just came out.
33%.
This is AI generated, guys. Trump posted this because he thinks that this happened and he's in it. Our president is mentally stunted.
Incredible. I'm not surprised at all. I'll tell you why. Is because...
I'm liking him a lot.
No, I'm not. I'm liking you too. I'm liking you too. I'm not surprised at all because, especially in the Republican field, because...
Have a country. We have to create, number one, we're going to build a wall. Number two, we're going to...
Okay.
Oh, listen to this, even with your crowd, I hear
No,
that.
they love
But we want...
they love the
No,
wall.
no.
People love the wall. Well, Donald Trump, thank you so
very
much for being
Stephen.
here.
Good luck. Thank you.
Donald Trump is the leader for the Republican nomination. We'll be right back. Thank you so much, Donald. Thank you.
Yeah, this literally didn't happen. This literally did not happen. We're so unbelievably fucked. What the fuck is this? Oh my God. All right, Trump says he helps Putin. Trump tweet. Yeah, no, he's literally a lobotomite president. He's a fucking idiot. All right, so we're going to cover the drone attacks. We're going to cover Trump's tweet about Biden from Fox. I want Fox's coverage. What else? The Boulder.
The Trump White House currently facing a backlog of thousands of reported cases of
Let's see. Source of Israeli hostages in Egypt. Okay. So we've got that up. Drone attack. Trump claiming Biden died in 2020. Colorado terrorist attack. What else? "31 Palestinians killed heading to a Gaza aid site." I want to cover Greta Thunberg. Yeah, Greta, along with Lindsey Graham's tweet. All right, so that's 3 things. What else is huge? What else is huge? Let's see. Yeah, I already got Greta Thunberg up, ready to go. I want to see Trump's Twitter. Where's his tweets? Why can't I see his fucking tweets? One post? What the fuck is going on right now? Oh, wait, this isn't the real one. That's not the real one. Whoops. What the fuck is this?
I will create a government efficiency committee.
Oh, shut the fuck up. All right, so he hasn't tweeted like anything. If the courts somehow rule against us on tariffs, which is not expected, that would allow other countries to hold our nation hostage with their anti-American tariffs that would use against us. This would mean the economic ruination of the United States of America. Not true. Maybe we should cover Stephen Miller's lash out. Stephen Miller like crashed out on CNN. Stephen Miller, CNN meltdown. Do they not have the fucking video?
All right, welcome back into Live Now. I'm Austin Westfall. We just pull up the audio. Let's listen in.
What the fuck?
I think that's going to happen.
Yeah, we learned that the source of Elon's black eye was Scott Bessett. Yeah, I'll try to cover that as well.
It's going to happen. Not much. We just had $17 billion given. And again, we're going to have more important.
Shut the fuck up. I want the recent one. Let me see if I can find it on Twitter. Stephen Miller, CNN meltdown. I think this is it.
War against democracy. The Democrat
Before we even start, I want to point out that this fucking bald Gestapo Nazi piece of shit cuck loser has a fucking hilarious lisp.
Party has been waging war against democracy. They should be renamed the Communist Party, and district court judges that are trying to keep millions of illegal aliens here to steal our jobs, to steal our livelihood, to steal our benefits. There's nothing more on track than talking about the fact that the constitutional crisis of our time are district court judges keeping illegal aliens on our soil who have no right to be here.
Stephen, this is my show. I want to hear what you have to say. I've been respectful and giving you the opportunity, but I also need to jump in because time is of the essence.
The Democrat Party has been waging...
That's just one clip of it. I want the whole fucking thing of him crashing out. Pamela Brown, Stephen Miller. Minute 21. Yeah, we'll do this one.
Undocumented migrant sent a letter threatening to kill the president, promising to self-deport after the assassination. CNN reporting shows that investigators believe the migrant was set up. It was a victim of a setup. What is the administration going to do now? And this is an undocumented immigrant. I do want to note that, but this was someone who came forward, was a victim of a crime, and now law enforcement believes he was set up. Go ahead.
Well, I want to clarify what you mean, so we're talking about the same thing. Are you saying this immigrant was here illegally?
Yes, but I am, and that's why I said that. I clarified that.
You said undocumented, and I wasn't clear what that means. I'm assuming they have a fake ID.
You know what this is? That is semantics regarding the humanity of these people. Stephen Miller and the Nazis, they don't refer to them as undocumented immigrants. They refer to them as illegals. And they do that on purpose because they don't want you to consider these people, right? You call them an undocumented immigrant, well, that means that they're an immigrant and they just didn't do their documentation, which is exactly what they are. You call them an illegal or an alien, right? They call them illegal aliens. That is entirely purposeful language to dehumanize these people.
I'm assuming they have a fixed social security number.
That's neither here nor there.
That's
getting away from the question, Stephen. I want this to be, and call me naive, a good faith discussion about what's happening right now.
But when we use language that's designed to obscure the truth, that's not good faith.
All right,
an illegal
does this
alien
risk...
is an illegal alien. They're not an undocumented migrant.
Okay, that's fine. That's another discussion for another day.
I don't know the details of the assassination threat. All I can say, based on what you're telling me, is there's an illegal alien in our country who's making menacing threats. Regardless of the facts or circumstances, we don't want him here. We're going to get to the bottom of it, and I would gladly come back on when I have more information to share with you.
They were set up, just to be clear. But quickly,
So
where is the White House on habeas corpus?
the illegal alien was treated unfairly. Yes, I'm sure the illegal alien was treated very unfairly.
Where is...
Oh, well, that's just part of it. I want this entire fucking clip. Let me see if I can pull it up outside of Twitter.
When it comes ghosting with CNN's Pamela Brown.
Do you think a judge should just rubber stamp what your White House does? If not, what checks and balances do you think should be in place for this White House?
When you say, do we think district court judges should rubber stamp each action? There is a premise that is built into that is absurd. The president is the sole head of the executive branch. He's the only officer in the entire government that's elected by the entire American people. Democracy cannot function. In fact, democracy does not exist at all if each action the president takes, foreign policy, diplomatic, military, national security, has to be individually approved by 700 district court judges. That's democracy?
Yes, that is democracy. Yes, that is what democracy is. The president of the United States is the president of the United States. He's not the king of the United States. He can't make royal decrees that violate the Constitution without federal judges stopping him. That is why we have federal judges, you stupid, bald, Nazi cuck that let Elon Musk fuck your wife before she stole him away from you. Probably because you've got a fucking shrimp dick. Could you imagine Elon Musk stealing your wife, bro? Do you know how fucking pathetic of a man you have to be for your wife to turn to Elon? Do you understand how pathetic you really are, Steven? You aren't even the worm. You are the shit that the worm shits out.
So there's 15 communist crazy judges on the court that each of them as a team working together can block and freeze each and every executive action?
Yup.
Communist crazy judges. You gotta.
I want the rest of it. Fuck your coverage.
Sent a letter threatening to kill the president, promising to self-deport after the assassination. CNN reporting shows that investigators believe the migrant was set up. It was a victim of a setup. What is the administration going to do now? And this is an undocumented immigrant. I do want to note that, but this was someone who came forward, was a victim of a crime, and now law enforcement believes he was set up. Go ahead.
Well, I want to clarify what you mean, so we're talking about the same thing. Are you saying this immigrant was here illegally?
Yes, but I am, and that's why I said that. I clarified that.
You said undocumented, and I wasn't clear what that means. I'm assuming they have a fake ID. I'm assuming they have a fake social security number.
That's neither here nor there. That's getting away from the question, Stephen.
Ah, yes, that's how it does. And by the way, it is on this issue of the question of whether calling them illegal or undocumented migrants, or hey, let's just split it down the middle and say people who shouldn't be in the country in the first place. This is where the left in America absolutely falls apart. Now, I want to take you to Martha's Vineyard, which is, of course, one of the toniest, old-money, lefty holiday spots in the United States, up there in New England, and one where you'd be hard-pressed to find any support for Trump. So if I told you that when ICE agents made raids on the island and made 40 arrests, including authorities say of an MS-13 gang member and a child sex offender, well, the good left-leaning people of Martha's Vineyard would be up in arms. If you thought that, well, guess what? You'd be right.
I think it could be any of us next.
Martha's Vineyard resident Jane Catch held a sign yesterday at the Vineyard Haven terminal warning visitors.
The island has a history of supporting people who are different, supporting immigrants.
Huh, that's funny. Martha's Vineyard, a record of supporting immigrants. It's funny because back when Florida Governor Ron DeSantis sent a few dozen illegal migrants to Martha's Vineyard, the locals there couldn't wait to kick him out and say goodbye. Oh, bless.
Dude, this guy's a fucking fat loser. Hold on 1 second, guys. Sorry, guys. My brother is literally losing his mind, fucking crashing out because I said that I believe that this is a false flag. Fucking bum-ass loser. Jesus Christ. He's still on that? Yeah, he's still fucking on that. He's still on that. Fucking annoying. I'm trying to tell him I'm live. I'm fucking working. Please stop blowing up my fucking phone. Isn't your brother a lib? Yeah, he's a super lib. Oh, what's your brother on about? Oh, he's saying that because I said that I believe Mossad put together false flag operations, because I believe these attacks are false flag operations, and that I put that out in the airwaves, that I'm an anti-Semite. That's what he's saying. Fucking Christ almighty. Here, I'll say it again with my whole ass chest. I believe that these are false flag operations put together by Israel. I firmly fucking believe that. You're entitled to your own goddamn opinion. Holy fuck. No, he's a super lib. He's a super lib. I want that whole CNN segment. Why does CNN make it so fucking hard to find the goddamn clip from their own fucking interviews?
Do you think a judge should just rubber stamp what your White House does? If not, what checks and balances do you think should be in place?
Team working together can block and freeze each and every executive action.
Yeah, CNN is so fucking unorganized, bro.
When it comes to dealing with...
Yeah, that's what we just watched, too. Jesus Christ.
You should be ashamed.
No. Dude, CNN is terrible. I fucking hate CNN. They're actually the worst goddamn news source. They're a terrible fucking news source. They don't know how to organize a website. They don't know how to fucking get their shit out. They're so unbelievably fucking stupid. Who is in charge of fucking CNN? I've been here for 15 minutes trying to find this fucking clip. 15 minutes I've been trying to find this fucking clip. And now I have to fucking go over some right-wing media coverage of it because this stupid fucking news organization doesn't know how to work a fucking search engine. Yo, to the people working at CNN, are you guys fucking mentally disabled? Do you know how to make a fucking website? Do you know how to pump out your videos? What the fuck is the matter with you? Jesus Christ. All right. Drones, Trump, Colorado, Palestine, Greta Thunberg, and then Stephen Miller. All right. Let's get to recording. I gotta go fill up my coffee. Give me 1 second, guys. Yeah, no, exactly, AG. All I can do is find right-wing coverage of the fucking interview. All right, let's make this video. So, Ukraine launched a counteroffensive on Russia. Trump shared a post on Truth Social, and he said that Biden was executed in 2020 and that he was replaced by a clone. There was a terrorist attack in Colorado, which is starting to ring the bells of false flag operations being put together from Israel. The Israelis killed at least 31 Palestinians on their way to get some food. Greta Thunberg was supposed to get on a food flotilla that was sent over to Gaza, and she didn't, and then the flotilla was fucking bombed to oblivion. And on top of that, Lindsey Graham tweeted out about Greta saying, "I hope you know how to swim," when he found out she was getting on that boat, which means that the Israelis are working directly with Republican senators, because Republican senators like Lindsey Graham know that these bombs are going to happen. And then last but not least, Stephen Miller got cucked by Elon Musk. Elon Musk stole Stephen Miller's wife. We're at the 60-second mark, so I could say it. Elon Musk fucked Stephen Miller's wife. And then she skipped town with Elon, and now Stephen Miller is going to let out his shrimp dick, white, bald Nazi rage on the rest of us because he's incapable of holding down a woman. Hi, I'm Chris Valenti. Welcome to the Valenti VOD. We've got a lot to cover today. Before we do, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. It costs you nothing, and it helps me immensely. And again, real quick, a big shout out to all of my patrons and all of my members on YouTube. This is real independent media. I have no funding. So if you do want to help support the channel, a couple of ways you could do it is by becoming a patron on Patreon for $5, becoming a member on YouTube for $5, buying some Valenti Videos merch down below, and using the 40% off discount code for the Ground News Vantage subscription, also located in the description below. I love all of you. Thank you for 66,000 subscribers. We're trying to grow this. We're trying to get bigger here. I'm doing everything I can, and I need your support. So let's dive right into Russia and Ukraine. Ukraine claims drone attack hit 40 Russian bombers as talks set to resume in Turkey. Now, real quick, what's important about this is the Ukrainians did not inform the Americans that they were doing this attack, and that is a pivotal. That's huge. That's a pivotal moment. This is the first attack that Ukraine has launched on Russia without telling America, which means that they don't trust us anymore. And that makes sense. I mean, Donald Trump is a fascist and he's a foreign asset. He has tweeted out that if it weren't for me, Russia would be far worse. So he's letting the world know that he loves Vladimir Putin. He loves to work with Vladimir Putin. He will do everything to protect Russia. And he says it all the time. He's like, man, I've known Putin for a long time. So Volodymyr Zelensky rightfully doesn't trust the United States anymore. And he shouldn't. We are not a trustworthy nation. Anyway, let's cover this. Hold on. Ukraine launched a large-scale drone attack deep into Russian territory that security officials claim destroyed 40 military bombers as it gears up for another round of talks in Istanbul to explore prospects of a ceasefire. Ukrainian security sources told CBS News that the attack, called, quote, Operation Spider's Web, took over a year and a half to execute and was personally supervised by Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. In his evening address, Zelensky said that 117 drones had been used in the operation. He claimed the operation had been headquartered out of an office next to the local FSB headquarters. Now he's just rubbing their nose in it. The FSB is the Russian Intelligence Security Service. So he claims that the operation was headquartered out of an office next to the Russian version of the CIA. That's just rubbing their fucking nose into shit, saying, hey, by the way, we fucking orchestrated this out of the building next door from your intelligence operation, you stupid fucks. Security Service of Ukraine smuggled drones inside the roofs of mobile wooden cabins carried by trucks deep into Russian territory. The Ukrainian security sources said, at the time of the attack, the roofs were remotely opened, allowing the drones to take off. The drones hit airfields, including the Belaya Air Base in Russia's Irkutsk region. More than 2,500 miles from Ukraine, it is the first time that a Ukrainian drone has been seen in the region. Local Governor Igor Kobzev told AP, stressing that it did not present a threat to civilians. Now, one thing I want to point out is the difference between the way that Ukraine fights back and the way that Russian attacks. Russia is fine with bombing civilians. Actually, I'm frankly certain they want to be killing civilians. And now we see an example of Ukraine leading a counteroffensive where they did not kill any civilians. In fact, they only targeted military structures. And even then, I don't think the Ukrainians killed any Russian soldiers. They just took out their military facilities. They took out bombers. They're preventing themselves from being bombed further. It's clearly an act of self-defense. The security service of Ukraine said that the operation had destroyed 34% of Russia's fleet of air missile carriers, with damages estimated at $7 billion. This claim could not be independently verified. The drone... get this. This is the important part. While White House spokespeople declined to comment on the attack, administration sources told CBS News on Sunday that the White House was not aware it was coming. So we're being left out of the loop. Say what you will about Biden being decrepit and his brain leaking out of his ears and all the money we sent to Ukraine. Say what you will. But at least the Ukrainians considered us trustworthy enough to keep us in the fucking loop when it came to attacking Russia. They kept us in the loop. And now Donald Trump is such a terrible leader, the worst president in American history, to the point where our allies like Ukraine are too afraid to tell us about their own military operations. It's fucking insane. It's fucking insane. Now, I hope, here's my take on this. I hope the Ukrainians keep on attacking Russia. I think that what they should do is keep using their drones and attack every single Russian military facility in Russia. Every single one. Completely and totally destroy their military. If you're capable of doing it, why not? Take out their nuclear deterrents, take out their air bases, take out their barracks, destroy every single military base in Russia and turn them into an obsolete nation that is completely and utterly useless. That's what I would do. Believe it or not, I would fully support my tax dollars going into a bomb that will hit a Russian military facility. If that means you stop the Russian horde from advancing on Finland and Norway, if that means you keep NATO Europe as NATO Europe and not fucking Russian, do it. Do it. Do it. Absolutely do it. Now, we're going to move on to the next story here. Again, this is about Trump here. So Donald Trump posted on Truth Social saying that Biden was executed in 2020 and was replaced with clones. I'm not kidding. And there's a reason why I brought up Fox News. This is Fox News. Even they can't cover his ass for this because it's so fucking lunatic. Okay? So, Donald Trump and also, just so we understand, Donald Trump is declining mentally. Okay? He is absolutely declining mentally. And he let out this tweet that says there is no Joe Biden. He was executed in 2020. Biden clone doubles and robotic engineered soulless, mindless entities are now what you see. And then it was followed by like 70 fucking hashtags. And Trump tweeted it. Now, also, this comes after Trump tweeted this AI video of himself being interviewed by Jimmy Fallon, completely AI generated, not real. And he tweeted it, posted on Truth Social and said, the Democrats don't want you to see this. This guy is so mentally ill that he is literally posting AI-generated videos of himself and he thinks that they are memories. Donald Trump has early onset dementia. He is unfit to be the president of the United States. He's Stephen Colbert, not Jimmy Fallon. He is unfit to be the president of the United States. That goes without being said. Okay? And also, mind you, this is after Joe Biden came out and said that he's got prostate cancer. Like, real talk, guys, he doesn't have much time left on this earth. And the president of the United States says, oh, don't worry, he's already dead. He died 5 years ago. In fact, he was executed. That's where we're at. Is it early onset dementia? I feel like it's just onset. I don't know. I mean, I don't think he's old enough for it to be full-fledged dementia or Alzheimer's, but he's definitely in the early stages of losing his fucking marbles. Oh, okay. More news. We've got a terrorist attack in Colorado, Boulder, Colorado. Another anti-Israeli attack, which, listen, if you ask me, I'm not saying that this is a false flag, but what I am saying is that there are more and more anti-Israeli terrorist attacks that are popping up across the United States. And there's even an argument that Mossad does this shit all the time, Live updates. Colorado attacker is in the U.S. illegally, Homeland Security Department says. The suspect is an Egyptian citizen who stayed in the United States after his tourist visa expired in 2023, an official said. 8 people were injured in the attack in Boulder, Colorado. The suspect in Boulder, Colorado attack on supporters of Israeli hostages in Gaza is an Egyptian civilian who was in the United States on an expired tourist visa, the Department of Homeland Security said. On Monday, the investigators searched for details about the episode that left 8 people hospitalized with burns and other injuries. Yeah, the suspect, Mohammed Sabri Solomon, entered the United States from Egypt in August 2022, stayed illegally after the visa expired. And, okay, so here's the thing. I'm pretty sure this guy had, like, Molotov cocktails, and he's just started chucking them around, and he, like, lit a whole bunch of people on fire. I think they all survived, but let's see. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said in a statement on Monday that he and, quote, the entire state of Israel were praying for the full recovery of victims wounded in the attack on Boulder, which he said, quote, was aimed against a peaceful people who wished to express their solidarity with the hostages, quote, being held by Hamas in Gaza. He said that he trusted the American authorities to prosecute the man accused of carrying out the attack, quote, to the fullest extent of the law and do everything possible to prevent future attacks against innocent civilians. So what he means about to prevent future attacks against innocent civilians is he means that America will criminalize protesting against Israel, which already is happening. Mike Lawler, representative from New York, he has proposed a bill that would criminalize boycotting the state of Israel, making it punishable with 10 years, or 1 year in prison or 10 years in prison and $1 million fine, something along those lines. But this is an actual bill that has been proposed to the United States legislation to make it illegal to boycott or protest the entire nation of Israel. This is because AIPAC and the Israelis have a complete and total vice grip over American politics. They own both sides. Speaking of Israel, 31 Palestinians are killed heading to a Gaza aid site, witnesses say. And Israel denies responsibility. Of course they do. At least 31 people were killed and over 170 were wounded Sunday as large crowds were on their way to receive food in the Gaza Strip, health officials and witnesses said. Witnesses said Israeli forces fired towards the crowd just before dawn from an aid site run by an Israeli-backed foundation. Israel's military denied its forces fired at civilians near or within the site in the southern city of Rafah. An Israeli military official speaking on condition of anonymity in line with the procedure said troops fired warning shots at several suspects advancing towards them overnight. If they fired warning shots, how did 31 people die? The military also released drone footage it said was shot Sunday, apparently in daylight, in the southern city of Khan Yunis, showing what it said were armed, masked men firing at civilians trying to collect aid. The Associated Press could not independently verify the video, and it was not clear who was being targeted. Quote, Hamas is doing everything in its power to prevent the successful distribution of food in Gaza, the statement said. So listen, let me just be very clear here. If you think that Hamas is preventing the food from coming into Gaza, you are mentally disabled, you are mentally stunted, there's nothing anybody can say to you. If you genuinely believe that the 2.3 million Gazans who are starving to death and begging for water, if you believe that the only people who are fighting for their cause, Hamas, are actually the ones preventing the food to come in, I can't help you. Nobody can help you. You are being spoon-fed Israeli Hasbra, and you are thanking them for it. Nobody can help you with this. So, one thing that I want to bring up is, interestingly enough, there is, as you know, there's a shortage of food and water in Gaza. And, well, Greta Thunberg, you know, that climate activist, the humanitarian activist, that, how dare you, that woman, well, she was going to get on a boat, on a flotilla, and bring food over to Gaza, her and a whole bunch of different activists. They were going to get on this boat and bring a whole bunch of food and water over to Gaza. And then Lindsey Graham tweeted out this: hope Greta and her friends can swim. This is Senator Lindsey Graham, United States Senator Lindsey Graham. Says, hope Greta and her friends can swim. That's a weird thing to say. And then suddenly you find out that the ship Greta Thunberg was supposed to be on was blown the fuck up, bro. Who else was on it? The crew, Game of Thrones actor Liam Cunningham? Jesus Christ. So, the group blamed Israel for the attack, which damaged the front section of the ship in the latest confrontation over efforts to send assistance to the Palestinian territory. The Israeli government says the blockade is an attempt to pressure Hamas to release hostages. Yeah, so you're just going to starve 2.3 million people to death. That's your method. So, does it have any coverage of this? No. Yeah, but so I'm pretty sure that she hopped on a second boat now. She's on her way over with a new boat. A whole bunch of these humanitarian activists are making their way over to Gaza on this new ship because the first one was blown to fucking smithereens. And then our last story of the day is this. Stephen Miller did an interview on CNN with, what the fuck is her name? I forgot her fucking name. Pamela Brown. And Stephen Miller is on this current crash out course because his wife left him after being cucked by Elon Musk, and she eloped with Elon. They've left Washington, and she left her bald Nazi shrimp dick fucking husband behind for nearly trillionaire fascist apartheid South African Elon Musk. So Stephen Miller is in a fit of rage, and he went on CNN, he did this interview, and he just crashed the fuck out. And we're going to watch it.
Do you think a judge should just rubber stamp what your White House does? If not, what checks and balances do you think should be in place for this White House?
It is not the job of a district court judge to perform an individual green light or red light on every single policy that the president takes as the head of the executive branch. Just think about the premise baked into your question, respectfully, Pam. You're saying that when the American people elect a president of the United States of America,
I'm not saying that.
Why does he talk like a Valley girl? Why does every single sentence that he talks like a Valley girl? He always brings up the end of his sentences with this inflection. He's talking like he's some 14-year-old girl from fucking California. I just don't. He is from LA? Oh my God, he's from LA. So, okay, he's from Santa Monica. He actually has a Valley Girl accent. Oh, no, 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 no. No, 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 no. No, 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 no. What a fucking loser.
It's the implication. Who is the sole head of the executive branch? Well, let me finish. I will answer the question happily. But look, when you have these kinds of lazy assumptions built into questions, it makes it hard to have a constructive dialogue.
What is a lazy assumption?
What I'm saying,
I said you all had a win.
You said no. You said, is it my expectation?
I'm speaking because now you're putting...
You said, is it my expectation? It's not just you. It's the whole media. In other words, when you
I know
hear
you
a
want to
sentence
loop
like...
us on. It is a completely fair question. You say judges who rule against the White House
and I will
go rogue.
gladly answer it. When you say, do we think district court judges should rubber stamp each action? There is a premise that is built into that is absurd. The president is the sole head of the executive branch. He's the only officer in the entire government that's elected by the entire American people. Democracy cannot function. In fact, democracy does not exist at all if each action the president takes, foreign policy, diplomatic, military, national security, has to be individually approved by 700 district court judges. That's democracy. So if there's 50... Foreign policy, diplomatic, military, national security has to be individually approved by 700 district court judges. That's democracy. So if there's 50...
That's democracy, Stephen. Yes, that's what democracy is, you bald, shrimp-dicked cuck. Yes, that is what democracy is. He's the president of the United States. He's not the fucking king. He can't make royal decrees that violate the U.S. Constitution without federal judges stepping in the way. Dumb fuck. If you don't like democracy, say it with your whole ass fucking chest, Herr Goebbels.
15 communist crazy judges on the court, that each of them as a team working together can block and freeze each and every executive action.
Dude, this guy his voice is so unbelievably annoying. He sounds like Pee Wee German, not Pee Wee Herman. And I just stole that from the chat. Go fuck yourself. That's my joke now. But don't forget, this is the propaganda minister. This guy, he orchestrated upwards of 950 Trump rallies. He is the main propaganda minister. He's the main Nazi in the White House. He's the one driving all of these forces. Like, when you saw Trump thought that the MS-13 on Kilmar Abrego's knuckles were real, that's because Stephen Miller told him it was real. That's what that is. So, listen, today's video covered a lot, and there's a lot of crazy shit happening, so I'm going to stay live. I'm going to keep on covering it. If you're watching this pre-recorded on YouTube, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Also, become a member, okay? That link is in the description below if you're on an iPhone. And other than that, click that video right over there. I promise you, it's a banger. And I know bangers. Valley Girl Goebbels is crazy. Yeah, no, Valley Girl Goebbels is crazy. Making fun of people's accents, dude, that's low. He's a great man. Yeah, I'm making fun of his accent because he talks like a Valley Girl and is also a bald, shrimp-dicked cuck Nazi. Yeah, I'm gonna make fun of him. Yeah. Are you gonna cry about it? Are you gonna cry about it, Snowflake? That I'm making fun of your humble leader? Oh, are you gonna cry about it? Oh, no. Not only am I making fun of his accent, he also has a fucking unbearable lisp. Makes it nearly impossible to listen to him fucking screech. Yeah, his wife doesn't think he's such a good man. Chris, I do think that the main reason behind aid not getting to Gaza is like 99% Israel, but I thought there was actually Hamas taking some humanitarian aid and reselling it. So listen to what you just said, Husky. You admit that you think 99% of the reason why aid isn't getting to Israel is because of Hamas, is because of Israel. And that 1% you think you're alleging is from Hamas. So whose the main problem. So then who's the main problem? Yeah, I don't support Israel. No, I'm just saying, like, even if what you're saying is true, that still makes Israel the problem. Chris, why do you support terrorism? I don't. I think the Israeli warplane was completely dog shit. Well, no, their plan, it's clear the intention behind their act. I was going to say, yeah, it's not that their warplane was dog shit. It's that it wasn't a war plan. It was a plan for genocide and ethnic cleansing, and it was a good plan because it worked. It's like, is it absolutely vehemently fucked up and immoral? Yes, but it's working. They are ethnically cleansing the Palestinians. YouTube won't let me donate. Fuck do you mean YouTube won't let you donate? We've gotten donations this entire stream. Oh, the fascist in Poland won his election. Conservative historian wins Polish presidential vote. This guy's a Nazi, by the way. With all votes counted, right-wing historian Karol Nawrocki has been elected as Poland's new president. PKW said Nawrocki won 50% of the votes ahead of the liberal mayor with 49.1%. So that's an incredibly close fucking election. W Poland North. Are you? What I find ironic is I just said they elected a Nazi, and then you said W Poland. You didn't even challenge that this man is a Nazi. So do you also think he's a Nazi, and you're saying W because he's a Nazi? Or do you disagree? He's not a Nazi. Okay, that's better than I thought you were saying that he's a Nazi and that's a W. But no, he is a Nazi. Tavrovsky has claimed victory after the first exit poll, while Nawrocki cautioned that the results were too close to call. Nawrocki supports traditional Catholic and family values and is a strong supporter of Polish sovereignty within the EU. He backs continued support for Ukraine, but has said he does not want to see the country joining NATO and the EU during Russia's ongoing aggression. $20 donation from Missing Space. Testing donations. Love you, Chris. Love chat. Thank you very much, Missing Space. Can we get some W Missing Space? I really do appreciate that. Thank you very much. Poland's president is a largely ceremonial role with limited influence on foreign policy and defense, but the president can veto legislation. Tusk's pro-EU coalition government lacks large enough parliamentary majority to overturn it. The current conservative incumbent president, Andrzej Duda, has used his powers to prevent Prime Minister Tusk delivering key campaign promises, including removing political influence from the judiciary and liberalizing the country's strict abortion law. Duda, who could not run for re-election, having already served 2 consecutive terms, congratulated Nawrocki. Nawrocki, 42, supports a strong sovereign Poland and does not want the country to cede any more power to Brussels. He opposes the EU's climate and migration policies. He was relatively unknown nationally before he was selected by the opposition's party to be their unofficial candidate. Keen amateur boxer, footballer, often posts images of himself working out. PIS presented him as a strong candidate who would stand up for ordinary Poles and the country's national interests. A fan of President Donald Trump, he flew to Washington during the Polish election campaign for an extremely brief meeting and to get a thumbs-up photo of himself with Trump in the Oval Office. So, if there's one thing that Trump is doing, he's making Europe strengthen themselves. He also swallowed a nicotine thing, like a Zin. He swallowed a Zin. What a ledge. What an absolute legend. A Nazi from Poland. Good one, Chris. Oh my God, you don't know about Poland's issue with Nazis? You don't know about how many Poles ended up turning their back and fighting alongside the Nazis? You don't know this? Do you think when the Nazis invaded Poland that every single Pole either resisted or ran? Oh my God, you're an idiot. You're an idiot, right? Chris, do you just call everybody you don't like a Nazi? No, only the Nazis I don't like, which is all Nazis. They're Slavic, dude. They can't be Nazis. Thank you for the dumbest comment of the week. I appreciate that. I needed something like that. That's like saying they can't be Nazis, bro. They're American. America fought against the Nazis. There's no such thing as an American Nazi because America fought against the Nazis. Have you seen what Adolf Hitler said about the Slavs, dude? Yeah, I did. Yeah, he called them Untermensch, inferior people. Let me ask you something. Do you think modern Nazis rely on what Hitler said? Is that what you think? Because have you ever heard of Nick Fuentes? Hey, 20 North. Have you ever heard of Nick Fuentes? Nick Fuentes is not a Nazi? Yes, he is. He personally calls himself a Nazi. Nick Fuentes is a Nazi. That is not debatable. He calls himself a Nazi. He calls Hitler based. He said he literally has argued on Alex Jones's show that Hitler was a good guy to the point where Alex Jones had to take the side of Hitler was bad. You are wrong. You are wrong. Your opinion does not matter. Nick Fuentes is a self-proclaimed Nazi. I've never heard of Nick Fuentes. Okay, doesn't matter. Nick Fuentes is a self-proclaimed Nazi. What nationality or do you think Fuentes is? What ethnicity do you think the name Fuentes is? No, he's not. Yes, he is. Your opinion does not matter. Facts don't care about them. Nick Fuentes is a Nazi. Facts don't care about your feelings. Fuck you, pussy. But anyway, what nationality do you think? Yeah, it sounds Mexican. It is. So let me ask you something. Do you think the Nazis in 1945 would have accepted a Mexican into their ranks? Do you think that? Do you think that? No, of course they fucking wouldn't. Of course they fucking wouldn't. Mexicans have Spanish blood. Jesus Christ, bro. The point that I'm trying to make is that modern Nazis are not the same as historical Nazis. One of the main leaders of the Nazis in the United States of America is a man named Nick Fuentes, a man who had been rounded up by the Nazis. You don't watch his show? Yeah, because I'm not a Nazi. Nicholas Fuentes, an American far-right political pundit, activist, and live streamer who promotes white supremacist, homophobic, misogynistic, and anti-Semitic views. Fuentes has promoted anti-Semitic conspiracy theories against Jews and called for a holy war against them. He's also denied the Holocaust. He has been described as a neo-Nazi by various sources. Fuentes identifies as a member of the incel movement, a supporter of authoritarianism, integralist, and a Christian nationalist. So wait, real quick, hold on. Hey, Tanner, I just want to hear, do you think Nick Fuentes is cool? Do you look at this guy and do you think this is a cool guy? Define cool. Oh my God, you're a fucking Nazi. Do you think white supremacy is cool? Tanner, Do you think white supremacy is cool? Look, even fucking North is turning on you, Tanner, you fucking idiot. Do you think white supremacy is cool? No. Do you think being an incel is cool? Do you think being an incel is cool? No. Do you think being a Christian nationalist is cool? Just go watch his show. No, I have seen fucking clips of Nick Fuentes for years, dude. I have been in this field for a very long time. I've seen Nick Fuentes. This is the same guy who said, hold on, you know what? Fuck it. Let's pull it up. How about this? Let's get that video of Nick Fuentes screaming, "Your body, my choice." How about that? And you could tell me if you you agree with him. Let's see. Is this a good clip?
It's your body, my choice. And men, women again.
Bonjour, notre... Why is this French coverage? I don't give a fuck about French coverage. Jesus Christ. Dude, I feel like that clip has been, like, scrubbed. Kyle had the clip. Just look that up. Kyle had the clip where? That doesn't fucking help me at all. YouTube? I did look that up. That didn't help at all. Dude, have you even heard what Hitler says? Go to one of his rallies before you judge. Let me see. Is this it?
By the way, Nick Fuentes was not really cheerleading on Trump. If anything, he was attacking Trump for being too left-wing and too cucked or whatever. And so he was really not even really on the Trump train. But now that Trump wins, of course, snaps back into line because that's what these people do. It's absolutely pathetic. They're authoritarian freaks. But look at the stuff he's saying now that Trump won.
The feel when you're totally not pressed. The feel when we control your bodies. Hey, bitch, we control your bodies. Guess what? Guys win again, okay? Men win again. And yes, we control your bodies. Hi, I'm your Republican congressman. Hi, I'm your Republican congressman. It's your body, my choice. And men, women again. Men win again. There will never, ever be a female president. Never. There will never be a female president, ever. It's over. Glass ceiling. Dude, it's a ceiling made of fucking bricks. You will never break it. Your stupid face keeps hitting the brick ceiling. We will keep you down forever. You will never control your own bodies. You will...
Real quick, Tanner. The fact that you like this guy is the reason why you're an incel. The reason why you've never felt the warmth of a woman and the only woman who ever loved you was your mother and she barely loved you is because this is the people you look up to. You look up to Nazis, white supremacists, people who hate women. You're a smarmy, slimy piece of shit, and you are inferior to the rest of us. Do you understand that, Tanner? The reason why you're an incel and no woman has or ever will love you is because of the shit you're doing right now. This is why. This is why, Tanner. He's literally making fun of Republicans. Exactly my point. The fact that you're also so stupid and, like, brainworm ridden that you're seeing this clip and going, oh, he's making fun of Republicans. Dude, you would fucking defend this shit until the day you die. I can't help you, bro. You're a pathetic waste. You're a pathetic oxygen thief.
You'll never be the president of the global empire. Never gonna happen, sweetie. Your body, our choice.
Oh, look, I got a pedestal to talk on. Oh, okay, I'm just gonna permaban you. Say goodbye to the pedestal. Say goodbye. Bye, Tanner. He's not even a TFG. He's a fucking Nazi. If you are a Nick Fuentes fan, you are a Nazi. By definition, you're a Nazi. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. He's a Nazi. He's a self-proclaimed Nazi. And if you're a fan of his, that makes you a Nazi. There's no debating this. Yeah, he went to the incel shadow realm. You know what's funny about this is what just happened is probably going to strengthen his resolve. Most likely. It's going to make him even more hateful. He'll be back? 100% he will be back. 1,000% he will be back. He'll make an alt account and come right back. I'm willing to bet money on that. Y'all keep me sane, just gotta say it, and thank you all. Appreciate that. Thank you very much. I gotta crank the AC. I'm getting fucking hot in here. Anyway, listen, guys, I am going to end the stream. I know it's a short one, only 2 hours, but I have to take a shit real bad. See, bro, us MAGA don't like Nazis. We're pro-Israel. We love Jewish people. Real quick, 20 North. I'm going to have this with you with full good intentions here, and I hope you have this conversation with me with an open heart. Do you think that Israel represents all Jewish people on planet Earth? Before I go, this will be short, don't worry. No. Okay, so 20 North. If I say that I don't support Israel, does that make me anti-Semitic in your mind? Yes, probably. You probably support Hamas. No, I do not support Hamas. So earlier you said Israel does not represent Jewish people. And then you contradicted yourself. Because I asked you, well, if I don't like Israel, does that mean I'm anti-Semitic? And you're saying yes. So you don't even know what your beliefs are. So I'm going to ask you one more time, extra slow, so that your brain can have an easier time wrapping your finger around it. If I don't support, or no, let's start again. Does Israel represent Jewish people planet-wide? Yes or no? I don't know. Yes, probably. No, the answer is no. Oh my God, you're so fucking stupid. Okay, I want you to imagine there's some Brooklyn, New York Jew who was born in Brooklyn. They've lived in Brooklyn their whole life. They're a 17-year-old. They've never been to Israel. They're not Israeli. They're a New Yorker and they're Jewish, okay? If Israel bombs a Palestinian hospital, does that represent the beliefs of the Jewish guy in Brooklyn? Does Israel's actions, do those actions represent the Jewish guy in Brooklyn who's never been to Israel? No? Okay, so stay with that thought process. So you understand that there's Jewish people and there's Israeli people. They're not the same thing. A lot of Israelis are Jewish, but a lot of Jewish people are not Israeli. You understand that, right? You understand that, right? Yes, okay. So what you're saying, last point here, you understand that there's Jewish people and there's the Israeli government. Two different things, right? There's the Jewish religion and the Israeli government. Those are two different things, right? Okay, so here's the Israeli government. So now I'm going to ask you again. If I criticize the Israeli government over here, and here's Judaism, in your mind, does that mean that I hate Jewish people over here? By criticizing the government of Israel, does that mean I hate Jewish people? Yes? Are you serious? Are you serious? Or are you just so deep entrenched in your beliefs? No, dude. What? You just said yeah, and then you said no. I'm going to ask you one final question because I really have to poop. That was an old man. Okay. Because the final question, to wrap it all up, 20 North. The same question I asked you earlier. Am I capable, or is anyone capable of criticizing the nation of Israel without being anti-Semitic? Can you criticize Israel and not be anti-Semitic? There's a delay in responding. My bad. I guess. Okay. So, all right, how about this? I'm going to give one last comparison. 20 North, are you Christian? I'm assuming you're Christian. Yes? Okay. Now, I don't know what denomination of Christian you are, but to most Christians, the Pope is the top of the line. He's the representative that is selected by God. Do you consider the Pope the top dog for your religion? Do you consider the Pope top dog? You're Catholic. Even better. So you consider the Pope top dog. Okay. Now, in a hypothetical, and please don't do the thing that conservatives do with hypotheticals, where they go, but that would never happen. That's why it's called a hypothetical. In a hypothetical, if the Vatican, led by the Pope, decided to bomb a random Italian village and slaughter all of the Italians living there, does that action represent you? Because they did it, does that mean by definition you are you support that? No, of course. Okay, bang, thank you. You just proved my point. You are capable of understanding that the actions of a government do not represent the entirety of a religion. You're capable of understanding that. You understand that. So you do understand it. Yes, maybe, brother. Okay, so take that same understanding that you have and apply it to Israel. When Israel does fucked up shit, and I criticize Israel for doing fucked up shit, I'm not criticizing my Jewish friends. Because guess what, dude? I've got a bunch of Jewish friends. I live in New York. We have the second largest population of Jews outside of Israel. There's Israel and then New York. When it comes to how many, like where all the Jews live. That's what I'm trying to get you to understand. So you agree with me that you can criticize Israel and not be anti-Semitic. So you agree. You finally came to terms with it. Yes, Trump agrees with me too, and you. No. You... Okay. Oh, I forgot. You and Trump are best friends, so, you know. Probably had coffee with him this morning. Anyway. I'm gonna end the stream. Now that we got him to come to terms with it. I'm gonna end the stream. I'm gonna get some food in me. Yeah, he's a lost cause, bro. He's a lost cause. Crazy shit. Crazy. Obama. All right, guys. Have a good one. Peace out.